You did get to ride in one pretty cool car, though, I read about, with Peter Revson.
Yes, I've got a model of it there.
Oh, is that the car back there? Oh my God!
That's the real car. That's the one I was small enough to fit into in those days.
Well, you've grown a little bit, Pete.
I won't get it. It'll cause a problem.
Right. You'll probably disconnect or something. Wow. So was the car specifically set up for how was that? Was there a seat? I mean, did they have two seats in those things? How did that work?
The part of the Canadian American Challenge Cup rules and regulations, the Can-Am, was that that was sanctioned by the sports car clubs of both America and Canada. And so the cars had to look like sports cars. That means they had to have full coverage bodywork over the wheels, and they had to have two seats.
Wow.
Now, in the case of the passenger, it was a seat like that, and they had no padding or anything in there. You know, the driver, Peter Revson, was sitting there as the driver, and he was in his normal home, but he took probably 55-60% of the space.
Right.
And so all I had, and I wasn't the only rider that day, but every one of us had to get into what amounted to a aluminum tub this wide. And some of us are a little wider than would fit comfortably, but at the time like that, we're not going to quibble.
No.
And in order to, first of all, to slide into it, I had to take my shoes off. So I'm in my stocking feet on this bare aluminum.
Nice.
And my feet are like this because there's so little room in the foot box.
Right.
Remember, the front wheels are there, and the driver actually sitting slightly sideways to kind of angle into that foot box, and so that leaves very little room for this theoretical passenger in this sports car. Sure. But you know, at a time like this, you're willing to do that.
You do it. You
right.
suffer through it because it's the greatest thing that'll be on your resume probably for the rest of your life, right?
I often said that was the best 5 minutes of my 5 decades of life in this.
You said you looked over at one time at the tachometer and it was at 68 or something, and you equated that to almost 160 miles an hour?
It was close to 190.
Oh, well, 160, 190, right.
I was curious, so they showed me the gearing chart, and that day for that track, the top gear was 6.8 was 185, wow. I think. But the last time I saw the 6.8, the needle's going like this.
Right.
And the last time I looked at it, that's what it read. But he kept his foot hard down, and what caught my attention then was that boilerplate steel wall coming at me at 190 miles an hour. So I don't know exactly what the peak revs were.
Right. Wow. Were you using that passenger side imaginary brake pedal any over there? Was that?
There's no way I can move anything.
Wow. That had to be a life. I mean, just you wouldn't even hesitate to raise your hand to experience that, no matter how dangerous. What, were you scared? I mean, were you nervous about it, or did you not even have time to think about that?
There was one moment of apprehension as we came blasting out of the pits, and the first real turn on the track was turn 2, which was a very fast, call it 120 odd mile an hour turn to the right. And, we were going incredibly fast already, even out of the pits. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I've never been this fast. But all he did was just turn the steering wheel, and the car just went like that. And there was no sense of drama or problem that the car didn't quiver or curve. And so I thought, okay, we're fine.
Yeah.
And I completely relaxed. All I did was just open my mind to try to record all the impressions and thoughts and questions I had. And that was, a story I just had to write.
Sure. And talking about like the oil stains on the track and stuff, that they were just coming by so fast you couldn't, it was hard to comprehend. I mean, how cool is that?
I appreciate you reading it that carefully. Thank you, Stuart.
I try to do my homework because Judy Stropus makes me, she says, if I'm going to get all these famous people for you, then you're going to have to do your homework. So she's a wonderful human being and such a good fan of our show and such a big help to our show.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stuart Howden.